I don't know what the weather is like where you are at, but here in Canada, it is a real scorcher, about 40 degrees. But that's okay because it's perfect weather to talk about all the incredible activities we're going to get into this summer and check off on our summer bucket list. Going to the fair, having barbecue, camping. At the same time, I'm going to give you all the best vocabulary and keywords to talk about them in an interesting and exciting way. If that is something you feel you can benefit from, get a nice cold drink and join us. Welcome, everyone. My name is Kevin. I am an English teacher and a writer. These videos are all about sharing my experience to give you some clear and effective study tips. If you feel that you are liking what you're seeing and enjoying stuff, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really means a lot to me. Putting together a summer bucket list is a lot of fun. And because time goes so quick, we want to make sure that we get in all of the best activities before it's back to school. As you can see in front of us here, we have a few of those activities: to barbecue, go swimming, camping, take a road trip, or go to a fair. I would like for you to take 2 minutes and come up with 3 to 5 keywords for each summer activity on my summer bucket list. And afterwards, I want you to see how many of your words match my vocabulary. All right? Can you do that? Let's take a look at them again here. And just take a couple minutes to write down a few of the most important words, the words that you think you must use when you're talking about these 5 summer bucket list activities. We're diving right in, which is nice and refreshing. The first one that I can't get enough of, and I do it even in the winter, is to barbecue. My vocabulary includes these words: to grill, kebabs, skewers, rare, medium, well done, propane, charcoal, and marinate. Grill means the metal surface that you put all the vegetables and meat on. You can see it in this picture here. All the food is sitting on the grill. So we can say to grill up some chicken, to grill up some hot dogs. And if you're cruising by, you're driving down the road and you see a sign that says bar and grill, keep in mind that they're not just serving drinks there, but it means it's a barbecue restaurant, essentially. Kebabs are the food on sticks. Some people say skewers, some people say kebabs. For me, I like to say kebabs. I think it's more of a fun word. But any kind of meat or vegetable on a stick, we can call them kebabs. How well cooked your meat is quantified in the scale that you see here: rare, medium, and well done. Most people like their meat, their burgers, or their steak medium. If you get it well done, it gets black, has that burnt taste, and it's very, very dry. Not great. Conversely, if your meat is undercooked, and you can't do this with chicken, or you're out of a job, out of the kitchen, forever, we call it rare. But you can only we're only when we talk about these terms for how the meat is cooked, we're just talking about red meat mostly. About red meat. Not No one asks you how you want your chicken done. Power or fire, give us fire. We can use propane, which is the gas. We can use natural gas as well, Or we can use charcoal, which are the bricks that take some time to heat up. Some people believe that meat and everything else tastes better on the charcoal. Others say the propane is quicker and convenient and it's just as good. Finally, we like to marinate our barbecue. So we put in the sauce with the spices, at least, if we can, 12 hours. A lot of barbecue places will marinate their meat for 24 hours before they cook it. It helps the flavor and the spices soak into the meat and just makes everything tender and more flavorful. Oh, I'm getting hungry. Our second summer bucket list activity that you gotta do, and it's a life skill anyway, so if you don't know how to swim, get out there and take some lessons. It could save your life. We talk about strokes, crawls, or floats. When you're moving on the front or on your back, we just call it a front stroke or a back stroke or a back crawl or a front crawl. There's things like the breaststroke. If you're just floating around, not really using your arms or legs, just enough to keep afloat, then we call it a float, a front float or a back float. The one thing you need to learn when you're swimming is to tread water or doggy paddle. Tread water just means to stay afloat when the water is over your head. So you need to learn to tread water. And if you go to the YMCA, they'll make you take a 1-minute water test. Make sure that you can tread water before the lifeguard will allow you into the deep end. The reason we do these things and we learn, take lessons, is because we don't want to drown. All over the world, every year, too many people drown, and all these terrible accidents could be avoided. Drown means to die in the water. We don't want to see it ever. As I said, if you learn how to swim properly, this can almost always be avoided. Swimming is a great exercise. You're working many of your muscles at once. You're also speeding up your heart rate, and it's good for your breathing. So any exercise that's good for your heart, gets your blood pumping, gets you breathing, that's called cardio for short, or cardiovascular exercise. Swimming is an incredible cardio exercise. Finally, because it gets so hot like today, the Humidex is like 40 degrees today, we need to cool off. And swimming is an absolutely refreshing thing to do. It's a great way to cool off. So get into it. The third summer bucket list activity that I hope you can try if you haven't already, it's an amazing experience, is to go camping. You'll need to rent a campsite, which you can get for as many nights as you want. When we go camping at the end of summer, we usually book or reserve our spot in like March or April, because where I'm from in Ontario, Canada, camping is popular and the campsites get filled up really quickly. Of course, if you're going camping, you must have a campfire. You can make it so high it tickles the stars. Keep it in control though. Always extinguish your fire. Fires can be dangerous, but they're also so relaxing. I like to sit around the fire and just watch it dance and get kind of lost in it. I really feel a strong connection to nature and my ancestors or forefathers almost. It's almost an instinctual, inherent urge to be around fire. I think it's just because it's so much a part of our history as humans to use fire, for cooking. It's a wonderful thing. If you haven't sat around a campfire recently, try it out. I think it's very, very spiritually fulfilling. There are different kinds of boats. The common boat you will see is a canoe. I should have a picture of it here. Maybe I'll throw one in when we do this. You can rent a canoe or own a canoe, go out fishing. Don't rock the boat. You don't want to tip the canoe. And of course, you will be sleeping. Your shelter is a tent. You can buy big tents for just a few $100s when they're on sale. By big tent, I mean like an 8 to 10 man tent. whatever capacity it says. If it says like a 6-man tent, that means it fits 3 people comfortably because you got your stuff in there as well. So just keep that in mind. You can half it. So if it's a 10-man tent, you're not going to actually have more than 5 people sleeping in there with sleeping bags, air mattresses, and all that gear. When we're out in nature, we can also say the nature is the wilderness. To be out in the wilderness is a very, very healthy thing for both body and mind. And if you're camping and you don't have like a big trailer with, electricity and stuff like that, if you just have the bare minimum essentials for camping, we can call it roughing it. Um, you want to rough it because not because it's inconvenient. Um, it's because we have so many technological conveniences in our lives nowadays that we depend on. It's nice to actually separate from those things because sometimes there's such a distraction from the people we love, and it also distracts us and separates us from nature. So go ahead, rough it a little bit, survive without your electricity. You might not even need to bring like a propane little burner or a cooker. Cook your food on the fire, just like your forefathers and your ancestors did, hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, tens of thousands and 100,000 years ago. Get back to the elements and see how it gives you a sense of fulfillment. Moving right along, we're going to take a road trip. And where are we going to go? You have a destination. Usually you have a destination, right? Sometimes you're just traveling freely, but not often. I mean, you might have a site in mind, and then maybe you're going to see a couple scenic spots, or maybe you're just going to kind of cruise around randomly and explore and see what you run into. You can always talk to the locals, the people that live there in any kind of town or place, and find out where they like to go to eat, find out where the best restaurants are that are not just overpriced tourist spots. Bring a cooler, right? Bring a cooler, the box that you put ice in and you put your food in so you can go out and have a picnic. And we're in the modern age, so use your GPS. Don't depend on it. It's good to like check the map before and kind of know your route, plan out your route, because the GPS can make mistakes. Although it's really, really handy to have a GPS, and I do use it all the time, but you don't want to depend on it. The more we depend on technology, the more we turn off our minds, and it doesn't help us to grow and evolve as people. Finally, go to the fair. Check it out. There are rides to go on, thrill rides like roller coasters. There are games to play. You can win a prize like a big xiaoxiong, a big teddy bear. I said that in Chinese. The admission, the entrance fee should be reasonable. Usually is $20 or something maybe per person. If it depends on the size of the fair. If it's a little county, country fair, it might be cheaper. Go on the rides, go on the Ferris wheel where you sit and go around, and when you're at the top, you can have a great view of all the surrounding landscape. As I said, go on the thrill rides. They have some roller coasters. Thrilling, as I told my 8-year-old son the other day, means to be scared and excited at the same time. To be scared and excited means to be thrilled, and it's a lot of fun. So how many of those words did you actually get? A few of them? You might have some other words that you like to use too. And if you do, leave those in the comments below. I'd love to hear about them. We're going to check out a little video. We're going to check out a little video here about my trip to the CNE, which is the Canadian National Exhibition held just outside of Toronto every summer. It's a really fun place to go if you're ever in the area. Highly recommend you check it out. We are here at Canada's biggest fair, the CNE, otherwise known as the X. It's held at the end of summer for about 2 weeks. We're getting in before the long weekend. So let's go have a look here. There's lots of stands everywhere, games to play and rides to go on, and lots of food.
Looks like the players over at the token machine, guys. We're just gonna give them 30 seconds and then we're gonna get the game started. All right.
You can play a game, win a prize, try your luck. Oh my god, look at that deep fried pickles. Deep fried pickles. I bet those are good.
You got the race as well?
So here's all the games here. Lots of prizes you can win.
You bet $2 or any month, and we roll the dice. If in last of the month you bet on, you win a prize. We got bets on this side. Any more bets? Any more bets? No more bets. Last call. 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
We're going to do a few else style questions, the short answer questions, and put this vocabulary into play. What are your plans for summer vacation? Well, I'm looking to make many memories doing a lot of fun stuff on my summer bucket list. For instance, my family and I always spend a couple of nights camping at the end of summer. We'll rent a canoe and cast our fishing lines, swim, and go hiking during the day. At night, we always have a huge campfire and roast hot dogs and marshmallows. Our tent is quite spacious for the three of us, and I feel so peaceful looking out the ceiling at the stars and listening to the crickets. It's an incredibly healthy feeling to break away from all the electronics and the bustle of life and rough it in the wilderness. Also, we often pack a cooler and take weekend road trips, using the GPS to visit neighboring towns or head to Toronto. Sometimes we have a set destination and sights to see. Other times, we often talk to the locals or explore. What are some water activities that you enjoy? In my mind, swimming is the ultimate summer activity and a great cardio exercise. There's nothing more refreshing than taking a nice dip in the bay on a smoking hot day. One doesn't have to be a competitive swimmer to realize it's a great pleasure in life. You can simply wade around in the water and build muscles without even doing any serious swimming strokes. Besides, far too many people drown each year, which makes swimming an essential life skill for people of any age. Next question. Do people where you live like to barbecue? Absolutely. I like to think that people are passionate about barbecuing anywhere you go in this world. In my hometown, it doesn't matter whether you use natural gas, propane, or go old school with the charcoal. Barbecuing and summer go hand in hand. I love to do up some kebabs or grilled vegetables like asparagus. Ideally, I'll marinate the meat 24 hours in advance to give it more flavor, but I keep the spices to a minimum. If I'm on the grill, I'll cook steaks or other red meat just under medium. There's nothing worse than tough, overcooked meat. Just the smell of the barbecue smoke in the summer makes me drool like a dog. As far as I'm concerned, everything tastes better on the grill. For your daily exercise, I want you to put this vocabulary into play. Check it out. Take the words that are new to you, or even any of the words that you don't use regularly, maybe like cardio, things like that, or grill. Practice answering these questions that we just went over and coming up with your own short answers that are 15 seconds to 1 minute long. That would be absolutely wonderful. If you would like, send me your summer bucket list. I would love to hear your plans on all the incredible things you're going to get into this summer to make some very fond memories. Make sure you enjoy every moment because the summer will be gone before you know it. I will remind you once again, if you would like to subscribe, I definitely appreciate it. The Humidex today is like 40 degrees. That means you have the temperature, say it's like 25 degrees. Then you have the Humidex, which is that hot, stuffy, kind of wet heat that's added on. Today is about 40. I'm going to go swim in the bay, take a dip in the bay with one of my favorite people in the whole world, my favorite swimming buddy, my mom. And we're just going to catch up and talk a little bit. And I hope it's not too cold because I was out there the other day and let me tell you, that water had a bite to it. It was almost painful, and I think it changed my heart rate. But with this weather, it should be warming up soon. Get out there, have an incredible summer, guys, and I'll shoot another video your way as soon as possible. Take care, stay healthy, be safe, and have fun. Bye-bye.